Hello, everyone. Welcome to Royal Black and Elite. I'm Lady TrenettWilson, your lecturer and social historian. I wanted to come by today to discuss a little bit more about what's going on with Candace Owens since the passing of Charlie Kirk. Candace is a firebrand, and most in the Black community don't really care for her type of politics. But would you be surprised that Candace wasn't always a conservative? So I just wanted to show you the many faces of Candace. And I'm wondering, is she facing a downfall? What's going on? She is, when I say beefing with everybody, I do mean everybody. And so I thought I'd bring her life to the forefront, talk a little bit about her and kind of what's going on as to why I feel like she's shown the public more than one face. Some may call it evolution, some may call it growth, decline. I don't know, but I do want to give you all the information because here on Royal Black and Elite, we stay not only abreast of the past, but we also know what's going on right now with contemporary issues. And so we cannot negate that Candace has really built a huge following. Even on her, if you go on her YouTube, 30 minutes in, she already has 2 million views. So people are listening. She's talking. And so I think that we need to be able to be ahead of the curve, know what's going on, especially as a Black community. So thank you all for joining me, and anybody actually who's joined me. You're on Royal Black and Elite, so we do talk about cultural issues, but I want to thank everybody from all around the world. I've been getting people from England and from the continent of Africa. I am just so excited to welcome everybody. And I want to thank you all for liking, sharing, and subscribing. So I appreciate you all. So now, Candace recently, the most recent thing that maybe had gone more viral and that people know about a little bit more is her recent lawsuit that the Macrons filed against her. Now, Emmanuel Macron and his wife Brigitte. Emmanuel is the prime minister of France, and I believe he's getting ready to lose his position. Well, Candace did all of these exposés saying that his wife, this woman, man, whatever, Bridget here, is really a man. So that was the first thing that was really, that people began to, look at her in a strange light. But some people really do believe that she is a man. So we'll see how that court case goes. Candace has filed a dismissal saying that France, these people are in France, they have no jurisdiction to file on her in the United States. So again, we'll see where that goes. Now, Candace is a married woman. She has 4 children. And she is married to a man of European descent. She is a practicing Catholic, or allegedly, this is what she says, she is a practicing Catholic. Now, Candace was born in White Plains, New York in 1989, but she grew up in Stamford, Connecticut. She has 3 siblings, and she was primarily raised by her mother and grandmother after her and her mother husband divorced. Now, she began her career, oddly enough, in 2015 as the CEO of a place called Degree 180. There, she railed against conservatives and Republicans, particularly the Tea Party, even mocking the president's manhood. So, face number one. Originally, when she came out, she didn't say she was Democrat, Republican, progressive, liberal, whatever that she was, but she did mock the Republicans. So she was against them. Then face number 2 came about, and this face was a face of censorship. You see, in 2016, she launched Social Autopsy. Now, this was a website that exposed bullies on the internet, even though that's exactly what she was doing with her other, program that she was talking about the president's manhood. So, on Degree 180. So, she actually started a blog doxing people, telling about people's business and their information if she felt like they were saying things or doing things that, didn't agree with what she believed. So she was leaking these people's information. Well, what happened was, it was mostly conservative. She didn't like them. And so that's who she was leaking. But even the liberals got upset with her about this. Well, then she said, well, the liberals are being mean. And now I'm a Republican, and now I'm a conservative. So, face number three. So, she is kind of changed throughout her career. Now, this is really, though, where the cash cow began to come in. You see, in 2017, she was hired and began to work as the communications director for Turning Point USA. And that's where her and Charlie Kirk started to work, or they were working before, but now they were really working together. And she even calls him one of her best friends and that they were really close. So, I don't know, but this is what she's saying. So that was face number three. Is now that she turned too conservative. So she wasn't ever conservative. This was now she's conservative. She was working for Turning Point USA, but then 2019, she stepped away from the position and joined the Daily Wire. But then she left the Daily Wire because she evidently started getting into it with Bibi Netanyahu, who is the prime minister of Israel. Here are some texts going back and forth, tweets, excuse me, going back and forth between she and Bibi, because now, after Charlie Kirk passed away, she said that Charlie Kirk what was not in agreement with Israel anymore. He wasn't checking for Israel, and that allegedly Israel may have been behind his leaving the earth, along with the American government, who is, she says, deeply packed with people who are pro-Israel. So, face number four, she doesn't like Israel anymore when she used to like them. So I don't know who Candace Owens is, to tell you the truth. I used to say she was a conservative and Republican firebrand. There was a distinct thing about her. But now I couldn't even tell you what she is. I don't know if she knows what she is. She's now saying in 2024, allegedly, that she has some interest around the Holocaust denial, how you fake 2 million Jews are being done that way, world wars behind what happened with the Jewish people. How you fake that, I don't know. But she's saying now that she's questioning all of that. So is this an awakening? Is this Candace drifting? In fact, they say she is being paid by Qatar, allegedly. I don't know. That's way above my pay grade. But I know to get to 2 million views on YouTube, somebody has to be paying you. So whether it be her own business, whether it be her partners, I don't know. But you can't get there being, just broke. So who knows, you all. I don't know what the end of this is going to be, but I did want to come and share with you kind of what's going on in Candace's world, why it's important to us as Black people, because she's Black, and oftentimes she really rails against Black people. And she says all of this stuff, always talking, always chirping, but now here she's saying that Israel is wrong and Israel this, that, and the other. Now, as a Catholic woman, I would think that she would just be praying for everybody. I think that, her friend, supposedly her best friend, passed away, yet she's on here talking about all this other stuff. So is Candace right? Candace wrong? Y'all tell me down below what you think. I do believe that she is one of the most polarizing political commentators of this century. If you can think of another one who was a Black woman during this century, let me know down below. But she's the only one that comes to mind. She'll go into conservatives, audiences, liberal audiences, and she speaks her mind, or at least that what we thought she was speaking her mind. Perhaps her mind is wherever the money goes. I don't know. But as a mother of four and a married woman, she sure does have a lot of time on her hands to talk about worldly issues. Who knows? Now, she has staunchly aligned herself with Kanye West. She always talking about yay, yay, yay. I love yay, 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 who we know was the platform for talking about Jewish people. So I don't know what's going on with Candace, but I do know this. We will keep you updated, let you know what's going on. Tell me what you think down below. Is Candace just using her blackness as a mask? Meanwhile, inside she has all this other stuff going on. Is she making us look bad? Y'all, please tell me down below. I want to thank you all for joining me for another great episode of Royal Black and Elite. As you know, my content is always for educational and entertainment purposes only, and the Fair Act use is in effect. Now, continue to click on down below. We have a lot more great videos on about the history, all the royal black people throughout our history. And I absolutely want to thank you for spending some of your time